I'm John Biswell. A lot of people ask me about cover-up tattoos. In this video, I am going to answer the top 20 cover-up questions. So if you have questions about cover-ups, this video is for you. I probably shouldn't think so much about it. So let's answer some questions. Can you cover a tattoo with another tattoo? Yes, you can. This is gonna be a long morning. Cover-ups are possible. Darker and larger are the prerequisites for a good cover-up tattoo. You'll have to talk to your artist about subject matter, about things that will work for your particular situation, but. So yes, you can cover a tattoo with another tattoo. Can you cover a tattoo? Can you cover an existing tattoo with flesh-colored ink? No, you can't. Flesh color ink will not cover something darker than itself. So though it makes sense in somebody's mind that it would be like a painting, it isn't. Black will come through that lighter ink within 5 years. So even if it pushes it back, it's still going to be prominent. So no, you can't cover a dark tattoo with flesh-colored ink. Flesh-colored ink. And multiple layers will not help you. How long till you can cover a tattoo? This is a common one for people who've rushed out and gotten a bad tattoo. First, you need to let your tattoo heal. You could start covering a tattoo anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks after the tattoo was done. Anything before that has the potential to cause scar tissue and leave you with work worse than you started with. My God, what are you thinking? You gotta wait until it's healed before you can get started. But more than that, you need to get your head together, figure out what it is that went wrong. Can you cover a black tattoo with white ink? You cannot put white over black and expect it to be white. No white daisies over black tribal. Just doesn't work that way. It is the one rule that is always consistent. There's no way to camouflage or misdirect the eye. Tattooing is not done in layers. It's not like painting a wall. It's not a cover in that way. If the white ink goes into the skin, it's going to interact with the black that's already in the skin. How do you choose a cover-up tattoo? First, you need to get your ideas together. You don't necessarily need to pick out exactly what's going to cover it. More often, I suggest you pick out subject matters that you might want to wear to get rid of what you have. Talk to your artist. They'll be able to work with you to design something successful. Can you put color over a black tattoo? Yes, you can, as long as the color is dark on the value scale. I'm talking dark greens and dark purples. You're not putting yellow or white over it. Anytime your artist chooses to use a lighter color, it will just be to subdue some of the black, not to cover it completely. Light colors alone will not fully cover a tattoo. And what about small tattoos? Will they affect my bigger project? Well, a lot of people ask this. When people come into the shop looking for a sleeve or a back piece and they have something on their shoulder or several small pieces, sometimes we choose to go around it and leave those pieces, and other times we eliminate them completely. So they will dictate a little bit of the design, flow of the design. It doesn't necessarily stop you from getting a great tattoo or a larger tattoo done. I guess my answer to that is if you have smaller tattoos but you want a sleeve or you want something larger, go talk to your artist. I generally do not shy away from larger projects just because there's a few smaller cover-ups in it. Can you cover up any tattoo? Can you cover up any tattoo? Well, that's gonna depend on your artist. I haven't bumped into anything that I can't cover yet, but I'm not gonna say it won't happen someday. The limitations on a cover-up tattoo are generally put on it by the client and what their desire is for the end result. If the client is open-minded, has a few ideas, and can wrap their mind around how it can be done, then yes, you can cover up just about anything. On the other hand, if you have a big cover-up project in mind and you want to dictate exactly what is going to be used to cover up the tattoo, and how it's going to be done, and what size it's going to be, then you're going to limit your artist from their ability to do a successful cover-up. So why can't you cover up a tattoo with just any image? Well, there are limitations. If you're stuck on getting something like a tiger lily that has light in color and has little pattern to it, and you're insistent that that's going to cover your tribal armband, you're going to run into trouble. Though I think it's a great idea for people to pick some subject matters that they would like to wear instead of what they have covered, they really need to go into the situation open-minded, because there's limitations in the skin of what the artist can and can't do to make a successful cover-up. I don't know if I answered that as well as you're hoping, but you can't cover up just anything, a tattoo, with just anything you pick. You need to let the artist really work with it. So what you pick as a subject matter does affect the ability for your artist to be successful or not be successful with the cover-up project. Can you cover up scars and stretch marks? So the answer is yes, you can. They do present some different limitations. In my experience, scar tissue that is still red and healing cannot be covered or tattooed until that redness has gone down. I've seen many C-section scars and stretch marks successfully covered up or covered over. Burn scars generally are a little bit more complex. The swelling that happens on large sections of burned skin can be a little bit complex to tattoo. Slightly lower detail levels seem to be easier to work with. So, in my experience, yes, scar tissue can be covered over. It can be tattooed. Scars, such as burn scars, create different limitations for your tattoo artist. As long as the redness is down, I'm willing to work with it. Again, it presents different limitations, and so each artist will work with them differently. Can I get a cover-up from any tattoo shop? No, you can't. That's the plain answer. Not every tattoo artist will make good cover-up tattoos. Not every tattoo artist wants to do cover-up tattoos. Tattoo artists are not all the same. So if you want something covered, take your time, do your research, find an artist that works in a style that you like and that does cover-ups on a regular basis. Find somebody who's willing to work with you to do the sort of things that you're hoping for. That seems vague but full. And that's all I have to say about that. What about laser removal? Okay, lasers. So I have very limited experience with laser removal. I've only tattooed a few people who have had it done. It is a very effective tool in my understanding. Talking to people in that industry who do that, talking to other tattoo artists who do large cover-up work and use that as a resource, I've heard nothing but positive things other than it doesn't feel good to have something lasered. Some artists will go so far as to design the cover-up, tattoo the line work, and send you for laser work just in the areas they want lightened to improve the new design, to make the cover-up easier and more effective. In my limited experience with lasered skin, I've seen no difference in the quality of the skin and how it receives ink. What is the general process for a cover-up tattoo? Well, I imagine that every artist has a different process. My process includes a consultation where I ask questions about subject matters that you, the client, would be willing to wear, why you're unhappy with what you have, and kind of get an idea of where you want to be. I follow that up with a quick sketch. Every artist will work with a cover-up differently, so it's going to be specific to the artist. Your artist will want a few things. They're going to want to talk to you. before they set up an appointment to do the tattoo. They're going to want to have an idea of what it is that you want instead of what you have. And then they're going to want you to understand that there are going to be limitations of what they can and can't do. So don't bring them a Google image and insist that it be exactly that Google image. Every artist, though, will do it differently. To cover up tattoos need to be darker colors. Darker colors will cover darker colors better. I'm pretty sure we've already covered this to some degree in some of the other questions. If you're starting to work with lighter colors, it's really for highlight, contour, and shape. Your artist will work with that. But for the most part, darker tones will be used. You're not going to get a lighter tattoo than what you have now, unless you work with laser removal. What kind of things can you cover up? In my experience, just about everything can be covered up. You can cover up any part of the body that's healed and doesn't have a medical restriction to why you can't cover it. So if there aren't blood vessels extra close to the top of the skin, as in fresh scar tissue, there are limitations in the cover-up process itself. So there are limitations in the tattoo process itself. You are working with skin. What is the hardest part of the cover-up? In my experience, the hardest part of any cover-up tattoo is the conversation between the artist and the client. The expectations brought to the table by the artist and by the client, and getting those to match up. In my experience, those are the most difficult part of any cover-up tattoo process. So when you go to talk to your artist, have an idea of what your artist does, have an idea of what you want, but try to keep an open mind and hear what they have to say about what they feel they can do for you, and listen to it. If they're not a fit for you, if the first artist that you talk to can't do what you want, talk to other artists. Are cover-ups more expensive? Not necessarily. Cover-ups can take more time. It varies from situation to situation. It's a case-by-case thing. If your skin is full of ink, you've had layer after layer, it could take your artist extra sessions to really work with that and mold it into what you want. Tattoo artists generally do not charge extra for cover-up work, but if it takes more time, you'll be paying for the time. What subject matters work best for cover-ups? Well, floral designs, things with patterns, scales, dark areas. I generally ask clients to first look around and think about things that they would be happy wearing. And then I take that subject matter and brainstorm what I can and can't do with it. Whatever the subject matter is, I always try to start with that and then see if I can manipulate the composition to cover whatever they have. I personally like using floral prints, things with patterns, birds, snakes, dragons. Often, if it's a smaller cover-up in a larger piece, it's much easier to cover up. But if it's centered on a body part, it's going to ask for different subject matter. So whatever it is that you think you might want, bring it to your artist. Let them see it and work with it. Depending on the style of art that you're looking to get done, different artists will prefer different subject matters. Do cover-up tattoos hurt more than other tattoos? What is the answer to that? Guess that all depends on the tattoo you have. It doesn't necessarily hurt more. When tattooing over heavy scar tissue, some people report it hurting more. Other people find no difference whatsoever. I don't know if that's true, but I don't want you to be scared to get the cover-up done. And no matter how it feels, it definitely will hurt less than living with something you don't want. What if I don't want a larger tattoo as a cover-up? Well, generally speaking, larger and darker is the way to cover something. If you don't want to go larger, your best bet is to have a laser removal done. You can have your tattoo lightened and then put something the same size over it. Cover-up tattoos need to be a little larger than what you're looking at now. If you get yourself locked into trying to stay within the same parameters of size, you may be limiting your possibilities for success. Talk to your artist. They will be able to tell you clearly what they can and can't do. Okay, what advice do I give to people looking to get a cover-up done? Well, I made another video about that. You can check that out in the link below. Stay tuned for more videos about tattooing and my opinions on it. I think it looks fine. Fine. But my battery's about to go. Thanks for your time. If that was been helpful to you, give me a like down below and subscribe. Tell your friends, leave a comment, say something nice.